This is Tools for Teens, where the smart get smarter. In today's lesson, I will teach you how to bring a character to life. Stick around till the end of the video to see the full product. Welcome back to Tool for Teens, and in this lesson, I'm going to show you how to take an idea using Chachivity LTX, Play, and Canva, and bringing that idea to life at the end of the day. So let's get started. Step one is just to get an idea, and you can banter back and forth with an LLM like ChatGPT. The sky's the limit. Just brainstorm. So after going back and forth a little bit, I landed on the name Bobo. So I told ChatGPT, search the web for Bobo, the name, and see if this is potentially inflammatory language. Okay, so it did tell me that in Spanish and in Filipino, Bobo can mean something like foolish or stupid. And in this context, I actually don't feel that that is too derogatory or too offensive. So that answered my question, and I just went for Bobo. And as a final touch, I asked it to create a few images of Bobo. Here you can see Bobo exploring space. And there's another one which could actually work as a logo. All right, so now we have our character. The next step is to build out a few stories. So here you can see what I did is I pasted some of the stories that I've already created alongside ChatGPT. I gave those stories as an example, and I told it below you will see 5 short stories about how Bobo, the curious balloon, spelling error, flies around the world and the universe to explore and learn new things. Create another story of the same length. Let's keep the theme science. And now it gave me another story, more or less the same length and in the same style. Okay, so now I have a story about Bobo going to the moon. It looks pretty good. So he learns about full moon and crescent moon and why the moon changes shape. Perfect. So now that I have my story, I want to put the story into scenes and illustrate what is being said. So I'm going to copy paste this. And now I'm going to go to a GPT that I've created. And I named it the scene writer for Bobo GPT. And this scene writer is going to transform the story into specific scenes that I can just copy paste into LTX. So I'm going to paste in this text, and it should know exactly what to do with the text. Perfect. So what you can see now is that every sentence has been put into a scene. It should be a wide shot of Bobo and maybe a close-up of one of the objects or the environment that he is in. So now I'm going to take all of this and I'm going to copy that into LTX. LTX does give you free credits, but I'm actually on one of the paid plans. And I'm just going to say new project. And now I do not want AI to develop anything for me. I've already developed the story. So I'm going to choose the stick to the script option, and I'm going to paste in those scenes that ChatGPT has developed for me. And to give it a little bit of extra context, I'm just going to give it a title. So Bobo, the curious yellow balloon, explores the moon. All right. And I'll press next. So we're going to choose 9:16 aspect ratio because I'm looking for a YouTube short or maybe an Instagram reel video. And now you can see that it's just a balloon without a face. So let's go into the edit page. The name is correct. I don't think we have to give our balloon an age. All right. The essence is he's curious and he's yellow. That's perfect. And now comes the appearance part. All right. So there's a little bit of a hack here. What I did in ChatGPT is I uploaded an image or two of Bobo, and I asked ChatGPT to describe this image. Okay. So now we have some adjectives and descriptive words that we can use to plug that into LTX to see if we can get close to our character. Right. So a bright yellow balloon with lightly animated face, smooth glossy surface, I don't think I'm going to add smooth glossy surface, but let's do this. So the appearance is that. And what else can we add? Large expressive blue eyes and radiating sense of wonder. We're not going to add that. Great. And I'm also going to add that a gentle blush on each cheek is what I want to see there. Great. Okay, so now we have Bobo. That's close enough. Now I'm going to apply those changes. Just before we choose next, I'm going to choose the 3D cartoon video style for this specific video. Okay, and now I'm going to press next. Perfect. Now it gives me a breakdown of the story and the scenes. I don't think it's going to change a lot because ChatGPT has already done the heavy lifting. So let's just scan through this quickly. A curious balloon with large blue eyes. Balloon. Yeah, I think that's good. So let's click start. Perfect. So now we have Bobo exploring the moon. The next step is to animate these images. Now, a little trick that I've learned is I'm actually going to duplicate the images with Bobo. Because on this side, I'm going to experiment with the animations and not necessarily lose that image. It's a little bit tricky to get back to the image once you've started animating. So just a little trick and a little tip that you can use. And now I'm going to animate until I'm happy. So our first image has been animated. Let's see what that looks like. Yeah, that looks pretty good. I'm happy with that. And now I'm just going to animate the rest of the images in the same way. Okay, so while all of these images are generating, let's go on to the next part of the workflow, which is the voice, the narrator. And for this specific story, I use PlayHT, so it's play.ht/studio, and I just love Sarah's voice. So I'm just going to paste that in. It breaks it up into little sections, and then I'm just going to say generate all. Great. So now let's listen to how Sarah narrates this story.
Hi, Bobo. Oh, you're floating near the moon tonight. Look how it's glowing.
Okay, so I'm not really happy with how she's saying, oh, you're floating. So I'm just going to regenerate that because I want it to be more curious than assertive.
Hi, Bobo. Oh, you're floating near the moon tonight. Look how it's glowing.
All right, that sounds good. So now I go through all of these sections. Perfect. And when you're happy with all the generations and the audio, then you just go to export and you say export as a single audio file. Okay, so now that I have all of my animations ready, I can start deleting the images. And I'm just going to do that by clicking here and saying delete. So I don't need that image any longer. I just need the video. All right, so I'll just do that. Now, you can export the video as is with the audio, with the sound. I actually have another track that I want to use. So I'm just going to go to soundtrack and I'm going to delete this track. I'm just going to apply. Perfect. And that means I will have video without any music in the background. That's just my preference because then I could edit the video, the sound, and the voice separately. So now I'm going to share and I'm going to download as an MP4. And for the last step, we go to Canva. So I'm just going to say create a design. And I want to choose the template of maybe an Instagram reel because that's going to give me a 9:16 aspect ratio. So I'm just going to name my project. This is going to be Bobo Explores the Moon. I'm going to go to uploads and I'm going to first look for the video. So I'm going to upload my video. So now I just select that. It drags it into the template automatically. And now I just need to resize. So I'm just going to drag this. The last step is to add the audio. So I just click on the audio section here, upload files, and I select the narrator voice. So if I click here, it automatically adds the voice to the timeline. So now if I press play, you will hear that.
Hi, Bobo. Oh, you're floating near the moon tonight. Look how it's glowing.
Okay, so what you can see if I zoom out a little bit is that the voice is actually much shorter. The track of the voice at the bottom here is much shorter than the video track at the top. So now I'm just going to slice it up and make sure that the voice syncs up with the visuals. So let's do that quickly. And now instead of just clicking on that audio file, which is the song, I'm actually going to click, hold, and drag. So I click, hold, and drag it, and I place it underneath the narration track. And now I'm just going to resize it to make sure that it's nicely in sync.
Hi, Bobo.
That sounds great. The last step is just to adjust the volumes because I don't want the music to be too loud. So I'm going to scroll all the way over to the right, and then those three little dots is where I want to click, and then I select the volume option, and I'm going to bring it way down to, let's say, 25. So about a quarter of the original volume. Let's see what that sounds like.
Oh, you're floating near the moon tonight. Look how it's glowing.
And that's great. So now I just go share, and I download my video as an MP4 file. And the only thing that's left is to share my video on social media. So we'll watch that in a second. Thank you for joining me with this lesson of Tools for Teens. I hope this is useful, and I'll see you in the next one. Stay adaptable.
Hi, Bobo. Oh, you're floating near the moon tonight. Look how it's glowing. Do you see how the moon looks like a big round ball sometimes, but other times it's just a sliver? That's because of the way sunlight shines on it as it orbits Earth. When it's fully lit, we call it a full moon. When it's a tiny slice, that's a crescent moon. And when we can't see it at all, it's a new moon. Isn't it amazing how the moon changes shapes in the sky? All right, Bobo, where to next? I can't wait to explore with you.